Okay, this is part of our creating our check-in application, and we've just created our 6 services here that we're going to use. And next, we are going to um, set up storage variables, and then we're going to import this JavaScript, which is going to help us interface to all of the APRI controls and gives us some nice convenient functions there. So let's start by creating our storage that we're going to use. So on the left here, click down on project and click model and storage, and click storage here. We're just going to add some storage variables. We aren't going to bother creating a model, although we probably should. We're going to create, there's going to be one called check-in reg ID and check-in name and status code and lat and long. And we're going to use local storage here, and they're all string types. That's fine. Okay, so we're done with that. Next, we are going to add this JavaScript code that I provided for you. And so let's click on it and see what it looks like. We see that what I provided is just a bunch of functions that seem consistent name-wise, as far as I'm concerned, to be able to read and store into these APRI controls. So this get text will return the text field of a text input, and this will set a text input to val. And then this is same for text area. This is for the slider, and this is for the toggle, and this is for labels. This is for HTML. This is for a checkbox. This is for a select. This is to get just selected index, useful. This is for radio buttons. We can clear radio, set of radio buttons with this. Actually get which specific radio buttons have been checked. This is for our storage. We just created a couple storage. We just created some storage variables. These are some convenient dates functions. Since our database is a MySQL database, you know, in the cloud, external, and it's MySQL, it's nice to be able to convert between MySQL date formats and an actual date object, a JavaScript date object. So that's what these functions are for. So to import these, I'm just going to make a copy of the URL here. If you're typing them in, they're not too difficult here to pause and copy, but I'm just going to copy the URL. I'm going to do it this way, copy, and go to my application here, and I'm going to create a new JavaScript, and I'm going to name it APRI controls, and I'm going to create from URL, and I'm going to paste my JavaScript URL there, create JavaScript, and here it is, all nice and imported. Okay, I can close this. Okay, I think what we're going to do next here is to create our pages. So we are right here, create the 3 pages. We're going to name one of them login register. That'll be our opening screen, and one check-in, last check-ins. We're going to remove the footers, and we're going to create these panels on each of the pages. So let's start with that. So I'm going to I already have one page. It's a start screen, and I haven't even opened it yet. Let's see what it looks like. We've got a start screen here. First thing, I'm going to remove the footer. We see there's a footer down here. I'm going to remove that. And I'm going to make the caption say login/register. And let me just let me rename this login register screen. And let's see. I'm gonna add add a button to it up here in the top, and it's gonna be this icon. This is gonna be take us to the menu, and for position here, I'm gonna set it to no text, so it's just a button, and that's gonna open up the panel. And so let's put a panel on here. Here's a panel, and on top of the panel is going to be a label, which is going to be the name of the person. I'm just going to say full name, and I'm going to name it LBL, full name. I'm going to put up the word panel in there too. And next I'm going to put a list control, and the first, click on this, and this is going to say login register. And this is going to be a divider because that's the page we're on. The next one is going to say check-in, and the third one is going to say latest check-ins. And let's see. Then I'm going to put a spacer, and I'm just going to set that to about this big. What is it? I'm going to set it to, doesn't matter the width, but the height, let's make it 200. Okay, and I'll make that uniform on all the screens. And then I'm going to add one more logout button here, and this is just going to be, this item list is just going to have one item, and it's going to say click on it, it's going to say logout, and I'm going to change it to a different color. See, I think I have to go back one, and the swatch, I'll make the swatch red. And I better name this because I'm going to want to refer to it later. I'm going to call this, it's a list item, so ITM log out. And I better name these too. This is going to be called ITM latest check-ins. And this one is going to be called ITM check-in. And this one is going to be called ITM login register. Okay, I think we're good with that. And let's, we can just add a couple of events here. When you click on this, all you want to do is close the panel. So I'm selecting, you can't see it here, I'm selecting close panel. Okay. And we don't have the pages yet to navigate these two, so we'll have to come back and do that. And we can do this one at the very end. Now let's hide the panel, and let's make this button work, because what all this button does is open the panel. So we'll click here, and I'm going to put up the event, and I should have named it, but that's fine. The action is going to be open panel. That's too bad you can't see it, but there it is, open panel. And we can save this. And now we can actually test this. So let's do save and test. And it looks like this. And when we open the panel, it looks like this. And when we click here, we close the panel. Okay, so that works. Yeah. Okay, so let's make the rest of the pages. They'll all be blank pages, but we need to do a lot to each page just before we can get started. So let's create a second page, and let's name this one, let's see, check-in screen. And let's just make a third one. That way we can hook up the menus. This is going to be called latest check-ins screen. Okay, now we actually have 3 screens here. Let me just put captions on this one. I'm going to take off the footer. I'm going to click on caption, and I'm going to change the caption to latest check-ins, and I'm going to add a button, and I'm going to change the icon of the button to this, and I'm going to change the position to no text, and I'm going to add a panel, and on the panel I'm going to add a label and a list control and a spacer that is going to be 100 by 200, and another list that only has one item. Okay, and this first item, let's see, the first checkbox or first label is going to say full name, and it's going to be called LDL full name panel, and this is going to be called, the text is going to say login/register, and the second one is going to say check in, and the third one is going to say latest check-ins, and this is going to be a divider, and this one here is going to say log out, and this is going to be named ITM log out, and this one is going to be named ITM latest check-ins, and this one is going to be named ITM check-in, and this one is going to be named ITM login register. And this, now we can actually add navigation. So let's make this one go to it's going to navigate to page login register screen, and I'm going to make the slide. Save, and let's make this one check-in, navigate to page, check-in screen, slide, and let's make this one close panel. Save, and let's make, I'm going to hide the panel. Let's make, and this button, did I set this up yet? This is open panel. Save. Okay, so now let's test. We have to go back to this opening screen, and let's open up the panel here, and we need to set the navigation for this to navigate to page check-in screen, and this is navigate to page last check-ins screen. Save. Okay, now let's save and test. Test. And this is what the opening screen looks like. We can click here and closes. Click here, it goes to the check-in screen, which we don't, we can't get back. Let me refresh. Let me go back here and click test again. And this time, let me just test the last page, latest check-ins, and we can go here and go back to here, and we can go check-ins, go to check-in, and we're Never Neverland. Okay, let's finish the check-in page, check-in screen, and let's change the caption on top to check in, and let's see, guess we don't need to name the caption. Let's put a button here, and let's change the icon to this, and let's position as no text, and let's put a panel, and on the panel let's put a label, a list item, a spacer, and another list item, and we'll make the label say full name, and we'll name it LBL full name panel, and the first item will say login/register, and let's name it ITM login register. And the next one is going to say check in, and that is this page. So that'll be ITM check in. And the third one is going to say latest check-ins, and that is going to be named ITM latest check-ins. And this spacer is going to be 100 by 200. And this last item list item, gotta go back to mobile list. I'm going to reduce the number of items down to 1. And I'm going to change what it says to log out. And I'm going to name it ITM log out. Okay, let's put the navigation in here, the event handlers. This one goes to navigate to page, login screen. I'm going to use full screen refresh when I go back to the login page. Okay, so save. Check-in is just going to close the panel. Latest check-ins is going to navigate to the latest check-ins screen. And now I'm going to slide that. And let's see. I haven't done anything with that yet. Let me close the panel. And this button here is going to open the panel. Okay, that should do it. I should be able to, all the navigation should work now. Let's see. Okay, we can go to check-in, latest check-ins, back to check-in, back to login register, it refreshes. Let me go to latest check-ins, and what happens when I go back to login register? It doesn't refresh. From here, refreshes. So let me go and set it to, and the reason is because when you log out, actually, you may only need to do it for when you log out. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, so the navigation. Oh, let's do the logout. And what the logout does is the logout is actually going to open up the panel. The logout is going to clear the storage variable. Set storage variable. Check in register ID. Set it to 0. And set a storage variable. Set the check-in name to please log in. Save. And then the last thing is I want to navigate to page, and that will be the login screen. And this time, this is when I want to do a full screen refresh. Save that. Okay, so that's the logout for the check-in screen. Let's do the logout for the this one panel. when we log out, we click here, and the first action is to set the check-in register storage ID to check-in register ID storage value to 0, and we set the check-in name to please log in, and then we will navigate to the login screen, full refresh. And okay, and for the login register screen, let's see, what should we do here? I think, why don't we see, what is that swap card? D. Let's see, when we click on this, let's set the check-in register ID to 0, and then let's set the check-in name to please log in, save, and this might just work. Close the panel is the third option. Okay, and let's make the other SWATs D. This one. Okay, let's save this and test it again. And so we can log in, register, check in, latest check-ins, log out. Okay, well, so I believe we can, no name, okay, so we're done. We can start adding content, unique content to each of these pages.